Hello, people. Today I would like to have a more of a conversation, if you will, rather than me ranting about a certain topic. But I will rant, and then I would like to hear your opinions in the comment section below. As an architect student, obviously I see things in a slightly different way, and I've been let know that my particular view on some topics can be a little bit unusual, unorthodox. So obviously, do take this with a slight grain of salt, and I do believe I covered this slightly in previous videos, but I want to dedicate a whole video to it and hopefully get some interesting responses to it. And it has to do with your accommodation. By this I mean your ideal home. Many people say when they talk about their dream home to have a big house, whether it be more traditional style or whether it's a more modern home. Many people like to basically go for a big scale, and I do kind of see the appeal to it. I do really understand it because it's just like your own little world, your own little place. Well, not a little, big place. Um, and it does offer quite a lot of possibilities about what you can do with it. But the thing is, at the same time, these kinds of buildings are generally rather expensive, and they are going to take years to pay. Um, well, obviously years, but it will take quite a long amount of time before you actually get to pay the whole thing. So I kind of want to refer to this and and offer an alternative, if you will. And that is, instead of going for a really big house, going for your ideal house at a much smaller scale. Really, well, rather recently, there's been the tiny house movement, which is quite famous in the UK and USA, which basically is people getting houses for rather low prices. It can go really cheap, about 10,000 quid. Generally would be one of the cheapest. I can go up to 100,000 quid. Generally, I've not seen anything more expensive than that in terms of tiny homes, and that is generally a medium household really in the UK. To think about it. And these houses, I mean, it doesn't need to really confine to what the tiny house movement says, what the size should, the size specifications of it. But the things I want people to think, does really scale actually matter in terms of in terms of your house? Obviously, it needs to be big enough for you to actually get in and to live a normal lifestyle in. But do you really need such a big house for you to be happy? I personally would like to defer. Um, it's probably then again because I have a certain point of view in architecture, and you may disagree with me. But I do think that most people would be happier with a smaller household. And there's quite a few reasons behind that. First off, it's really easy to maintain. There's hardly any cleaning to do. There's not really that much storage issues because you just are kind of forced into not having all that many material things. So it kind of reduces some of those stresses, but also it's generally economically much more viable doing this because, well, first off, you do not need as much terrain. Second, you do not need that many construction materials. Third, the construction time tends to be really much shorter. It can take, I don't know, probably a week or two to finish your home, and then you're pretty much done. You can even do it yourself, though. Obviously, that will take a longer time. And also, you need to pay less for your bills, electrical bills, gas bills, whatever the case may be. You just need less. Really, reducing the amount of things you need to, well, reducing your need for money is generally one of the best things you can do to generally lead a happier lifestyle. Obviously, this kind of doesn't really apply all that much to rich people because they can just splurge and, well, they basically can just splurge. But imagine being able to pay within a couple of years, and this is, I think, something I mentioned in a previous video. Imagine being able to pay for a household within, say, 5 years of work, and then you just need to pay for the bills, and you may actually even reduce that because you may have a wind turbine, you may have solar panels, and because the house is much smaller, you also do not need that much electricity to cover the needs of it. So you're just reducing your need for money, and generally that's one of the biggest stresses for many people because I don't know if it's something that has to do with the capitalism point of view, where basically we have this consumer point of view, and we relate buying things and getting bigger things and whatever is better. But the thing is, that is not necessarily true. I mean, I do understand what the appeal can be. It kind of shows off with in terms of society what you are able to get. But the thing is, really, if you leave that aside, are you really that happy with spending so much more time and getting into a work you do not want? And I don't know. I personally do not think it's really worth it. I mean, obviously everyone kind of has their own kind of ideal home in their mind, and it may be a really big castle, and maybe a modern palace, or mansion. You know, everyone has their own particular view about it. But the thing is, reality is, many people that cannot really afford these kinds of buildings, and sometimes they cannot afford even medium houses, and they need to rely on rent, and basically they are working until their retirement pay to pay off just that. And that reduces the amount of possibilities of what you can do with your lifestyle. One of the things I want to do with architecture is really reduce the amount of money that people need to have a good quality home. And the thing is, it really depends on what the people's approaches to architecture is, because the thing is, there'll always be people that will want a big house, and well, that is just a thing. But the thing is, if I can allow people to basically to ensure people that they can have a small house that still covers their needs, it's just gonna make a society be able to spend time doing things that are more interesting. Because there are many people that, for instance, work in an office and do not dedicate to their passion because they just gain more money that way. And getting rid of one of the biggest problems that Western people generally tend to have, which is buying your house or paying for your house. Imagine just getting rid of that, reducing the amount of money that you need to live a normal life. Imagine just doing that. It frees up a lot of time, and you can dedicate to whatever your passion may be. Whether that's painting, writing, or you may continue doing your office work. For all I know, you may still enjoy doing that work. But the thing is, you get that weight off your shoulders, and I think it would be quite interesting to see what people's opinion about this is, and whether you in the comment section below could say whether you think you would be equally happy or even happier with a small household than a big household. Again, I do see the appeal of a big house, but the thing is, a tiny house, a small house, offers a lot of advantages as well. It just depends on your particular situation. I would personally like to really experience a little bit of both, because obviously I've lived in medium-sized home. You could argue it's slightly larger than the average as a child. But the thing is, now that I've been living in university for quite a while, and I've been living in a flat, I do notice that I do not really need all that much space for me to be happy. So it just got me thinking into tiny homes, and it's just being able to create these really high quality structures that fulfill the needs of the people, and they are not ridiculously expensive. Just makes me feel very optimistic of what the future can offer. Um, and obviously it will impact the world quite in a big way, because it's not only ecological footprint actually. It's how economy works. Because the thing is, imagine these tiny homes. They are probably a tenth of the price for a normal home, of the regular normal home, or even less. So it will definitely impact the economy in some way or another. But the thing is, at the same time, it will allow a lot of it will affect the construction industry a lot. But the thing is, at the same time, it frees people to use money in whatever way they want to. So would that actually make our different countries more competitive, or would it just reduce our need for money, and be able to spend money on different things such as hospitals, education, and whatever your aspiration in life may be? It's just obviously everyone will have a different opinion, and that's why I would like to see you comment in the section below, because there's still quite a few years until I become an architect, and I still have a lot to learn. I still need to understand a lot of the public's opinion about different topics in terms of architecture, whether it's for them or as a company. But I would like to see public opinion about this, because the thing is, architecture generally does, well, we can talk about architectural styles and all, and that, but the thing is, we don't really talk that much about prices in architecture and how we deal with architecture in our societal level. And it's kind of worrying, really, because the thing is, um, you basically, until the moment you plan on buying or renting a home, you don't really get to hear all that much, except from probably your family and friends. So yeah, we'd like to see your opinion in the comment section below. And hopefully I'll be uploading more videos more often, on a more regular schedule, rather than in a burst like recently, but, well, we'll see. Right, see you next video, and do leave a comment below, about what you think about tiny homes, and whether you'll be happy to live in one of them, be able to be happy in one of them, rather than need a big house. Right, see you next video. Bye.